Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katarina and I'm a realtor in Charleston, South Carolina. Today I'll be talking about the difference between new construction versus resale homes. With the market being as crazy competitive as it is, it can be a tough decision to try to figure out if you should go the new construction route or buy a pre-existing home. Today I'll be going through the pros and cons of new construction. That way you might have a better idea of which one is right for you. One of the first major differences when purchasing a new versus pre-owned home is the timeline. When buying a new construction home, the timeline can take anywhere from 6 to 14 months, just depending on where the builder is at in the process and when the materials get there. Right now, with so many supply chain issues, many builders are on delays, so it could take even longer than expected to get your home built. Supply chain issues aside, even if everything goes according to plan, first, you have to buy the lot, they have to get the permits, build the foundation, and build an entire house, which just takes time. When buying a resale home, the timeline can be much shorter, so you can move in much faster. With typical resales, the process is about 35 to 45 days if there's financing, but cash can close much sooner. If you're leaning towards new construction, but you're not sure how to make the timeline work, and you have a home to sell, it can be a little bit trickier. Firstly, if you have a home to sell, some builders do accept home sale contingencies. However, some do not, so you may have to sell your home currently first, live in a rental for a few months, maybe 6 months, and then you'll have a brand new home to look forward to, so that could be a good option. The next thing about new construction versus resale is that the process is just different. When buying a new construction home, it's much more hands-on, so you'll have to be there for multiple appointments throughout the process, whereas resale homes are a little easier. For new construction, you'll have to pick your lot, put the deposit down, which varies from builder to builder, then meet with the design center to figure out which upgrades you want to make and which floor plan you'll be doing. And then there's a pre-drywall inspection, a post-drywall inspection, and a final walkthrough. Whereas a resale, you typically just do an inspection, possibly a re-inspection if repairs are done, and then the final walkthrough. Another advantage of new construction is closing costs. Oftentimes, builders have preferred lenders and closing attorneys that can help contribute towards your closing costs, so there's less cash you have to bring at the closing table. However, I do recommend getting their quotes and comparing it to a local lender, because just because the closing costs might be lower, you might be paying more for their lender over the cost of the loan. So it's always good to get a second opinion, or even third opinion. Now, the main difference between new construction versus resale is that new construction is brand new, and it's exactly how you design it. You don't have to worry about any renovations or remodeling, so there's no cost to be expected there. The only difference is with spec homes, where the builder is already through the process of building a home, and they've already picked out all the materials, so you can't change what they've picked out. But right now, with the inventory being so low, spec homes even are hard to find. One drawback to think about with new construction homes is that while you won't have to put money into repairs, you will still have to set some cash aside in order to make the home fully livable. You will have to buy window treatments, so blinds, curtains, and rods, bathroom and kitchen hardware like towel racks and cabinet handles, and builders don't provide many appliances like your washer, dryer, and often the refrigerator. Fencing and landscaping are also something you'll have to do after closing, so all of these expenses do add up and can be tedious, and you wouldn't have these expenses on a pre-owned home. Also with new construction, builders have floor plans that modern families want. There are typically a number of floor plans to go through, and they oftentimes have models so you can see it in person. Depending on the size of your family or what kind of home you're looking for, they'll probably have a really good option for you. With open floor plans, big kitchens, the master downstairs if that's something you want, and lots more. Another thing to note is that some builders are more flexible than others with customizable options. Some builders will give you 3 options to choose from for flooring, for example, and that's it. Others have much more options to choose from, so it just depends on what you want. If you want a more customizable, hands-on experience, talk to your agent and figure out which builders might be best. Another advantage of new construction versus resale is that new homes are built with energy efficiency in mind. Most appliances that are put in are more cost-effective and energy efficient. New construction communities also typically have many amenities, so oftentimes there are swimming pools, tennis courts, a member club, walking and biking trails, playgrounds, and more. However, you will likely have to pay into this with their HOA, so it can be hard to find new construction with no HOA, unless you build on your own lot with a custom builder. Now, of course, for some people, an HOA is a good thing, and for others, not so much, so it just depends on what's right for you. One drawback with new construction is that lots are typically on the smaller side. A lot of the homes we're seeing are between 0.15 to 0.2 acres, and you might be lucky with a corner lot or a lot on the pond. One more advantage of new construction is that the home warranties are a lot stronger. They typically do a 1-year, 2-year, and 10-year warranty. The first year covers everything in the home, from nail pops to appliances and more. The 2-year warranty covers all electrical, plumbing, and mechanical systems, including heating and cooling. Then, the 10-year warranty covers all structural things in the home. So if there's a structural defect, they have to fix it within those 10 years. Oftentimes, the builder warranties can be transferred to a new buyer at closing, so if you're buying a home that's only a couple years old, definitely make sure to ask about that. With resale homes, there are home warranties, but you have to buy into it, and it only goes up to 1 year. There's a 1-year warranty, it's about $580, and it covers the mechanical systems in the home. So appliances like your refrigerator, dishwasher, water heater, and your HVAC systems. It won't cover major structural issues, which is why you need to have an inspection to check for those things. A warning against builders. With contracts with a builder, you have less control over how the contract goes. They have the contract in hand, so you don't get to pick the terms yourself. That's why it's so important to have a real estate agent represent you when you're buying a new construction home. They'll help you read over the contract and understand all of the terms that the builder puts in there. For example, some builders put a clause in that if prices for them go up, that's put on the buyer. And I've heard of situations where right before closing, the builder decides to increase the contract price by $25,000, and the builders have to decide if they'll pay it or the builder will kick them out of the contract. So that's another potential drawback for new construction. Now let's talk about resale homes. Right now, you'll probably pay the same for a resale home as you will a new construction home, which is why a lot of buyers are opting towards new construction. Here are some things to think about for resale homes. Depending on the age of the home, there could be a lot more renovations or remodeling to do. Now, if the home is only a couple years old, that's probably less true, but you're not getting a brand new home and someone has lived in it before, so there will be scuffs on the walls and not everything will be in pristine condition. However, you'll get it faster because, like I said, the contract period is much shorter. I'd also like to add that if you're buying a resale home, be careful about putting too much money into the home if you only plan on living in it for a few years. If you make it way more renovated than any of the homes in the area, you might not get all of your money back. The same goes for new construction, but you'll likely not have to do as many projects for new construction since it's brand new. Another thing about resales is the location. Right now, especially in Charleston, new construction homes are built further away from Charleston, especially in the Somerville area. This can be an hour away from the beaches, and one of the big reasons people move to Charleston is to be near the beaches. So if an hour is too far away from you, you might have to look into resale homes. There are exceptions to this, and new construction neighborhoods are going in wherever builders can find the land, but for most of the new construction, it's on the outskirts of the Charleston area. One good thing about buying an older home is that it can have a lot of character. They've been lived in and loved before, and you can still make it your own by doing upgrades after closing. However, if you're buying a home that's more than a few years old, you'll have to think about some of the costs that'll go into maintaining the systems and the home in general. HVAC systems tend to only last 10 to 15 years, especially with this Charleston heat and humidity. Traditional roofs last 15 to 20 years, and metal roofs last longer. But if you're buying a home with a roof that's 18 years old, that'll be a major expense you'll have to take on. Depending on the square footage of your home, a new HVAC system can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000, and a new roof can cost anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000. Around $10,000 is a good number to estimate, but it's always a good idea to get multiple quotes for new HVAC systems and roofs. That way you're paying the best price possible. One of the things I love about living in an older home, as mine was built in the 70s, is that there's no HOA, so there's less regulation and rules to follow, and there are a lot more mature trees. With new construction, they clear cut the lots, and it'll take time to get that same feeling. Another thing to think about with resale homes is deferred maintenance. So even if an owner previously put in a new HVAC system just a few years ago, if they've never had it serviced or changed the air filters, there could be problems that result in the lifespan of that HVAC system being much shorter. With new construction, that's something you won't have to worry about. When thinking about doing projects on a resale, unless you get a rehab loan, which is a possibility, you will have to pay for the renovations in cash. Whereas in a new construction home, some of the upgrades that you can do are rolled into the mortgage itself, so you're paying that over the life of the loan. If you don't have much cash on hand and you still want to buy a resale, it could just take longer to do the projects and you could take your time with it, starting with the most important projects first, like maybe your kitchen or master bathroom. As far as the resale value for a new construction versus resale home, right now, prices are about the same. Another thing right now, especially in this hot sellers market, is that resale homes are typically getting multiple offers the day of going on the market. So you'll be competing with a lot of buyers for a resale. With new construction, it's still very competitive, but at least you won't have to blindly bid and guess what the highest offer is. The builder will give you their price, so if it's agreeable, you can sign right there. However, that's also changed recently, with some builders starting an easy offer process where you have to bid on the lot. Every builder is different though and has a different process, so that's why it's important to know which builder might be the best fit for you. I hope you found this video helpful on new construction versus resale homes. If you're torn between new construction and buying a resale home, I'm happy to help you figure it out. Feel free to email or call me and we can start the conversation. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.